numbing substances. And, you know, I can't do that for you, and nor can anyone else. It's a common story. So, once you give up the numbing effects of alcohol and too much food, you'll start feeling more, and that might feel even worse, or not. And I was sitting in the hot tub this morning, and I had a conversation that I could actually have with you now. That one of the keys to allow the death that happens in love, surrender to love and intimacy, is a willingness to feel. And I was so touched by you last night in the massage, and by your partner, and how you created a space where you were feeling a lot. And you're a deep feeling man. You are born to be deep feeling more than many. That's neither good nor bad, it's just your nature. And it's probably why you do the kind of work you do. And it would be a sorrow to give up on that life, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I mean, let's be clear, life is unconditional. It won't mind what you do. You can drown yourself in drink in a way. I don't mind. I still love you. And I hear you saying it's not what you want. And so I'm encouraging you to take the steps that will hurt. The action that is crucial, and it will hurt. But it won't hurt for that long, relatively to the gifts you'll receive. You know, to be raw and broken open by life over and over again is intimacy. Life is not just beauty. It's sadness sometimes, and it's joy sometimes, and it's raw sometimes, and the body aches sometimes, and trees that have been glorious for hundreds of years fall down sometimes. These things happen, it's nature. And unless we are willing to feel right to the bottom, that stays stuck in the body, and it just feels uncomfortable. And so the temptation to drink or overeat or dumb down relationship and just watch the telly all the time is tempting. It's very seductive for all of us. And at the bottom of that is the death wish. The death wish that everybody in this room has. They're either conscious of it or not. But it's there to lie down and die. Yeah, you know exactly what I mean. So that's all right. Sometimes a death wish arises. That's all right. It's just life. You know, that's the irony. Life and death, they go together. Now, sexuality, as a young man, it's easy, isn't it? You're like a rutting stag. Whether you're conscious or not, there's sex available, and you enjoy it. And it's an amazing release, because it's like death. It's le petit mort. It's the release of the personal, just for a millisecond. We all know that sense of either falling in love and losing the self, the personal, the concerns, the roles, the responsibilities, or in meditation, everything falling away in silence and stillness. It's a glimpse of the truth of life, that there is nobody. There is no tragic story of a man who's lost his sexual energy. It's all bullshit, in a way. That doesn't mean I don't feel that deeply. So if there is a man there, if there is somebody who believes in his life and his identity and his story, your only real option to be awake is to feel it, just as you did in the massage, and to create the kind of life where it's safe to feel. Really safe. So that your relationship makes it really safe for you to feel life. Sorrow and joy and celebration and ugliness and the horror of aggression out there or whatever it is. And then it dissolves because it isn't real. So, it is, somebody said yesterday, Yuki said, I feel like a virgin. And actually, I would wish for all of us that we always do, that there's new life and rebirth after death, over and over again. So there is no story of your lost sexuality in a way. You can go deeper with this in other, in training, there's space. But right now I just want you to consider the possibility that it is a story. And last night, that man crying was reclaiming his sexuality. But the mind doesn't want to believe that. The mind thinks, well, I'm crying, I'm just a soggy mess. I'm saying, if you reclaim that life, those tears, the rage for you as well, you will reclaim your life and you will be sexual, because life is sexual. It's ecstatically orgasmic all the time. But until you know that, there's the projecting out. Oh, he can give me that. She can give me that. Oh, I need that person to be orgasmic. Or I need a plastic vibrator to be orgasmic. No. It's possible to be orgasmic all the time. And it isn't just about getting your end away. I mean, I know you're not saying that, but to be crude about it. It's not necessarily about having endless sex. If you're making love 20 times a day, but you're still a separate person, there'll always be a degree of frustration. So really, as I said yesterday, the context of joyful loving is you don't exist. Bring your energy back and feel into what's really deeply true. If I say to anybody here, can you really find me? I bet nobody would, because it's a construct. Once you pay attention to it, it dissolves as a myth. And in speaking out, you give others permission also to feel and speak. And nobody will believe a word you say, they'll just love you. It's intimate territory is truly terrifying if you stop to think about it. To be fragile and alive and put your heart in another's hands, even for half an hour, as you did in the massages. It's a real initiation every time. You might think you know this space. You don't. You know nothing. It's beautiful. And that person who spoke to me in the hot tub this morning, I just want to say again to you, it's not surprising to feel frightened sometimes. It's life. And the irony, which I need all your trust to we all hold this space together, and it takes a lot to keep being here when you feel like running. And I'm sure you're not the only one who's felt like running. So we have to remember to look after each other's hearts here and being, and to remember that when we are in very tender territory, you cannot walk out. You have to be with each other, moment by moment, because otherwise you create damage, new damage, when actually what you can do is offer your hands through your heart, through your hands, and facilitate healing. We all, every day, can give each other that healing.